When this channel gets bigger, I will do a giveaway for some of the first subscribers, so you better subscribe now to not regret it later. April Fools is next month. What are some semi-elaborate, funny, cheap pranks can you pull on your family and so? Put notes on people's cars telling them sorry about the damage. They will spend forever looking for it. I did this one last year. I work at a restaurant. We have these spray bottles with a light pink solution we use to clean tables and such. I went and grabbed a brand new one and filled it with watered down pink lemonade. I would be cleaning near my co-workers while chatting with them and nonchalantly unscrew the top spray trigger piece and just started downing it like I was dying of thirst. The look of horror on some of their faces was priceless. Bring a box of cream-filled donuts to work. Regular cream-filled donuts. Put a note on the box that says Happy April 1st. Watch everyone get paranoid about what you didn't actually do to the donuts. If your parents or a friend have a cat and you have access to their house, starting about a week prior to April 1st, sneak in daily and clean the litter box. After a few days they'll start to think their cat must be constipated. Then on the night of the 31st, sneak in and take a shit in the litter box yourself. If they use Google Chrome, install the extension Encageit. It changes every image, including Google logo, thumbnails, etc., into randomly generated pics/gifs of Nicolas Cage. The best part? There is an option to hide the extension from the taskbar. They would actually have to go into their internet options and find it under the extensions tab just to turn it off. It's great. Put dry macaroni under the toilet seat so it'll sound like the toilet breaks when someone sits on it. We put googly eyes on everything in the fridge to shock the kids in the morning. We thought it was freaking hilarious and were totally impressed with our cleverness. Our kids were not impressed in the slightest. Not sure they even noticed. Next year, we made them cereal and milk with a spoon in the bowl and put it in the freezer overnight. When we gave them breakfast, one burst into tears and the other threw it on the floor. Our kids can't hang. Edited to satisfy those who want to turn this into a parent-shaming discussion. They were almost 3 and almost 6. Their response was seriously lame, if you ask me, but totally age-appropriate. So what I did to my brother last year is this. Put a sign that says gullible on the ceiling. Take a picture of it. Take the sign down. Our conversation went like this. Me, it says gullible on the ceiling. Brother, no it doesn't. I'm not a idiot. Me, fine if you won't look then I'll take a picture of it for you. Pretend to take picture and show them the picture you took earlier. Brother, I guess it really does looks up. Fuck you. I love screwing with him. I did this a few times at my last job and it was hilarious. If a coworker walks away from their computer and leaves it unlocked, go into the mouse settings and change the primary cursor icon to the loading icon so it always looks like the computer is thinking. I had one coworker sit for 10 minutes bitching at his computer because it was taking forever. I finally couldn't stop laughing and told him what was up. Edit. Another one I could think of is changing someone's computer time settings, so instead of saying am/pm it can be whatever you type in, but it has to be short. I did that to my boss, so his time would say 10:30 Brett. His name was Brett. Problem was when he would send an ML it timestamped them with that time. I thought it was hilarious, but he wasn't too happy. I saw this somewhere else, but create an audio file that is 8 minutes of silence and then 15 seconds of sex noises from porn. Set that as various system sounds on their device. Take off the lid to the shower drain. Shove in a plastic bag with some chocolate milk powder mix in it. Secure the bag with the drain cover and cut off any excess bits of plastic. Wait for sounds of disgust as brown water starts coming up from the drain while they're showering. Step 1. Find a business that replaces car windshields. Step 2. Ask them if they would be willing to give you a bag of broken auto glass. Most people will give you a strange look, but oblige. Step 3. Scribble an angry note on a piece of paper. Tape it to a fist-sized rock. Step 4. Gain access to your friend/family member's vehicle. Roll the window down. Scatter the broken auto glass you acquired and place the rock with attached note. Step 5. Make sure the other windows are rolled up and the doors are locked when you leave the scene of the crime. Step 6. Enjoy the panic that ensues. I did this to my stepbrother a few years ago. A few days later, he was on his way to his insurance office to see if they'd cover it when it started to rain. He instinctively tried to roll up his window, and to his surprise, the intact window rolled up just fine. Workplace. Every year I always put clear tape under the optical mouse. I work in a call center. Every year, it works like a charm. Departments have personalities. It shows up on that prank. Sales, they freak out and tell anyone who will listen and whine all day about it. One year, it took them 3 hours to figure it out. Finally one person went and asked it for help. They chuckle, then get back to work. Management freak out, grabs it, resolved. Then they are paranoid the rest of the day while nervously laughing as though they found it funny. My favorite school prank I've heard of was where all the seniors gathered in a circle in the middle of the cafe or somewhere populated and pretended like there was a huge fight going on, and when the teachers/admin come to break it up, there's just 2 guys in the middle playing chess. In high school, the parents club sponsored a sober post-prom party every year. Our senior year they distributed flyers and mailed home info to the parents directing them to specific URL. The URL was incorrect, so several friends and I purchased the domain and made a site all about a drunken post-prom party. Supervised beer barn races, beer pong tournament etc. School flipped out and had to contact all the parents about the mistake. We never got caught, even after publishing threatening emails from our deans on the homepage. No damage done, no one hurt except the embarrassed administrators. I'd say it was a success. Overall, you just have to be creative and come up with something unique. It was tradition at my high school to make life hell for janitors and underclassmen by trashing the grounds the night before finals week began. My class was the first to matriculate at our new school after our former facilities burned down. A state-of-the-art building, enormous parking lots dotted with saplings, pristine athletic fields. A beautiful place to demolish with crude artwork in mixed media, mainly chalk, window paint, and eggs. The night went as planned. Various cohorts assembled at dusk and began to ransack the property. Laughter and rolls of toilet paper cascaded through the warm evening air. Benches and garbage cans were upended. Vertical surfaces announced the work of the senior class, and obscenities in block letters jigsawed their way onto enormous windows like the signatures in a yearbook. After an hour or 2 of chaos, the work was done. High fives were given, and overstuffed cars peeled out one by one. We imagined our triumphant return the following morning. The school was ours. Monday dawned. Buses hissed to a stop in the long, winding drive. Hundreds of our classmates tumbled out of carpools and kissed parents goodbye, begrudgingly approaching the days of tests that lay ahead. And not one of them noticed a thing. The school was as spotless as it was on our first day of freshman year. The seniors wore quizzical expressions. Texts flew like wildfire. The janitors must have come in overnight. The place was apocalyptic 8 hours ago. The paint was gone. The eggs washed from the acres of glass. Every square of toilet paper vanished from its perch. Hundreds of trees perfectly still, unadorned. Turns out my friends and I had a prank of our own. It took until dawn, but it was worth it. We got all of my classmates to fork out a few bucks. Then we got to school early enough to completely block off the teacher parking lot with our cars. We brought grills, chairs, cornhole, a volleyball net, etc. and grilled out all day. All the jealous underclassmen watched sadly from the classroom windows. Eventually teachers joined us during their lunch breaks and we shared our burgers and hot dogs. It was fun, didn't get us in trouble, and the teachers pulled around with us like adults, which was kind of cool. For our senior prank, we had a student who worked in the office make copies of hall passes. There was a color system, each day had a different color. So she printed out 500 or so hall passes in green on a pink day, and we stacked them in the bathrooms in the freshman hallways. Anarchy ensued, with almost every freshman getting sent to the office for carrying invalid hall passes. It was amazing. In my high school we did a freeze. It wasn't the senior prank, but it was awesome. All the students knew when to freeze in the hallways at passing time at the second bell between 4th and 5th hour. Everyone just froze where they were in the halls until the last bell. Clean the school spotless. Nice try, high school janitor. Get 3 sheep. Label them 1, 2, and 4. Let them loose and watch people search all day for sheep. Number 3. My neighbor's printer is unsecured. I plan to print hello, Richard. I have become self-aware. Feed me ink and I won't fax your wife's office your internet history.